Let's go to No Fence Riders because we've got a lot of questions today, don't we?
It is time. We have 6 questions. DeQuell's going to hop in when he's ready.
All right, great.
And we only have 1 unanimous this time. Now, granted, for the people out there, we asked these questions on Wednesday before we knew the game was getting moved, so some of the answers may change. But either way, let's get into it. Question number 1. For the first time this season, will the Browns force multiple turnovers in a game against the Bills? This was a split 3-3 choice. Bull, you're up first.
I think I said they would, right? Or
you did say yes. I guess you don't remember what you said. So we'll show the answer, then we'll let Bull go.
Yeah, there you go.
Bull, Polk, and Tyvis said yes. Brad, JG said no.
Listen, I get it. G and J, I get how you guys feel about the Browns. And in reality, yes, the Bills should kick the Browns' ass. But as we all know, in the NFL, this is not college football where, like, you know for sure Maryland won't beat Ohio State. In the NFL, every week there's one game where a team that you can't imagine winning wins. I'm not saying the Browns are going to win. I think the game's actually going to be a good game and be close, but I think the Bills will win. But I think the Browns could cover the spread. But Josh Allen lately has been extremely turnover prone. And unlike most teams against the Browns, I don't think the Bills will commit to running the ball. And so I think Josh Allen, who's thrown, I think, 5-6 picks in the last 3 games, will make some mistakes in this game. I think, he's not 100%. He's not playing quite as well. And I think he'll make some mistakes, and the Browns will do what they normally don't and get some turnovers.
Yeah, this one was tough for me because history this year tells me the Browns just don't force turnovers. They don't, period. They haven't all year. It's been their mantra. But to Bull's point, and I don't ever remember Josh Allen being this interception prone, and it might be because of the injury. We saw it last year with Baker. His mind knows that his arm can typically make that throw, but he can't because he has limitations. And I wonder if that's why we're seeing interceptions from Josh Allen. His mind knows that when his arm is right, he can put the ball where he needs to, but his arm isn't right, and his mind hasn't caught up to his arm yet. So I just kind of played the percentages and said this isn't a team that forces turnovers. Yeah. They don't blitz. They don't force quarterbacks into mistakes. They sit back and wait for them to come to them, and so far they haven't.
Yeah, it's not that they don't have, and I think people got to get this, it's not that they don't have some pieces and parts that could affect turnovers if they were deployed the correct way. As constituted, as the defense is called, this is by a plan. They don't bring the heat. They don't bring the pressure, and that's because they are trying to minimize mistakes and errors rather than accentuate and force those turnovers because they don't have trust in the scheme. They don't have trust in the players, and they don't have trust that they can execute that at a high level against a guy like Josh Allen. So the plan is, all right, well, let him walk the ball up the field, 12, 13 plays, and hopefully they get a false start, they get a holding, maybe we get an off-pass interference, maybe they get something, and then all of a sudden it derails and stalls the drive, they got to punt. But that's the classical bend but don't break.
I thought I made that call with the weather. I thought that might have an effect on it. I mean, and I would probably change that now, but I don't. It wouldn't surprise me if it popped something loose, but I would not make that same bet. I thought it was. I mean, we were supposed to have atrocious weather, and thought maybe that would affect it. So, but yeah, I now would be on the other side of that fence.
And I'm like Jay. I mean, at this point, see, you are who you are, right? You're not going to turn the ball over. I mean, you're not going to create turnovers. You just don't, right? So, I mean,
I'm pretty far in.
I'm going to ride with it because every time I think you're about to change, you always revert back to who you are, right? I thought we were going to run the ball. Then we went back to 11 carries for my best guy again. I don't care if we was down a bunch of points. We don't commit to nothing. So we're not committing to being no blitzing crew, nobody playing on the edge, nobody taking chances. That's just not.
They're letting the game come to them on defense instead of forcing.
That's how you get dictated to all the time. You sit back and wait. Okay, you just jump in the car, you ride.
Got it. Right. Yeah. All right, number 2.
Number 2, Brad, you're going to start on this one because you got the last word on the last one. Will Nick Chubb have more rushing yards than Stephon Diggs has receiving yards? It was once again a 3-3 split. Tyvis, Bull, and Brad said yes. Polk, J, and G said no. Brad, you're up first.
So the Bills air it out. Now we're going to the dome, right? To think that Josh Allen's not going to air it out
And Stephon Diggs is a player. So DeQuell can attest to this. A Maryland man, he gonna get numbers. That's what he does, get numbers, and he likes to get numbers on people, right? So all our DBs waiting in the wings, you about to see the real one. He the real one, right? And Josh Allen's not afraid to sling it. So if it gets going up in Ford Field, you're going to be looking at some massive numbers. And I don't think that if the Browns get down, they're going to commit to running Nick Chubb.
Well, we know
that. I thought Brad was on this side. I thought Brad was on the side with us there, wasn't he, Mike?
No, I'm on the no side.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Chubb will not get the yards.
Right.
Well,
right.
Brad did say yes, but I guess he's changing his answer.
No,
now.
I thought I was on the no side.
So you're on the yes side.
Can you put the graphic back up again?
Yeah, we'll run it back. Brad, and I just checked the text. You did say yes here. But I like how Brad's flexible enough to change his answer on the fly because the game got moved from Buffalo
You know I
to
work
Detroit.
every day, buddy.
He convinced me. I mean, he convinced me because that's exactly why I said he wouldn't. But so someone who thinks that Chubb will, and I think Bull, you were in there. Tell us
Bull,
why.
you go, yeah.
Yeah, I think Stephon Diggs is going to have a big game. He always does. I think both guys will have big games. I got Nick Chubb with 129 rushing yards and Stephon Diggs with 121 receiving yards.
How many
both
carries,
big
Bull?
numbers. It's a toss-up, but I think both guys will do well.
I love how specific those numbers are.
Yeah, one.
Yes, gotta be
Adam,
specific.
how many carries for Chubb?
Probably 15, 16 in this game is my thought.
Wow, that's a big average.
Guaranteed loss.
That's over 7 yards per carry average.
He's going to have I think he's going to have a couple of big games. I mean, the Browns hand the ball to running backs more than any other team in the NFL.
Bull, aren't you worried though?
That's a fact.
Aren't you worried? Well, yeah.
Hey, McNuggets.
No, stop. Not get into it.
Remember I was in the
Nope, next question.
Stating a fact.
Question three.
Ask Bull how many carries.
I didn't
Question
do
number
it.
3. Steve, take it. Put
Ask
it up.
Bull how many
Put it
more carries Derrick Henry has than Nick Chubb.
I promise
That's because Derrick Henry
Question,
doesn't have a second back.
I promise
Question 3.
McNuggets we wouldn't go there.
Will Jacoby Brissett attempt 29 or more passes versus Buffalo?
Hell no.
Only one person said yes. This is when the game was being played outdoors, and that was G. Bush.
Yeah, I would change that now.
Who else would change it? Let's
I
go with
would.
that.
I would
Jay,
change
you would
mine.
change it.
Yeah, I
Polk
would.
would change it. Brad?
You think you're going to have more than 29 passes?
Yeah, because I think they're going to fall behind big early.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's the same reason I didn't think Chubb would
yeah.
have more rushing yards than
Go
Diggs.
back.
Interceptions count as passes,
I
right?
don't think he'll have no 29 passes.
They do.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
care
all right,
if
good.
I don't
Yeah,
care if
I'd
it's
stay with
inside,
mine.
outside.
38
but you
attempts.
go back to that graphic, McNuggets, when you had Allen versus Jacoby Brissett.
Allen versus
And I
Brissett,
like Brissett.
81 Steve.
Just look at this graphic. I looked at it when it was on the screen, right? This is
Yeah.
going to be the killer, right? This
You
is the
know
killer.
it's good when he says, I like Brissett. And I like Brissett.
Yeah, like,
before
that's how you stab before you stab him.
No disrespect. Disrespect coming.
So they all
Yep.
64%. They got 64% completion, right?
Right.
Look at the yards. Only
So does
700 yards,
Brissett.
so.
It's a
Look-
big
The
gap.
completion
Look,
percentage is almost no difference. That's pretty impressive.
Look at the but look at the result.
Yeah.
There's a distinct difference there.
Well, that's because they throw the ball a lot more.
That's a check down Charlie. That's check down Charlie right there.
TDs.
Yeah.
You can see how he's going to throw 29 times if they fall behind.
Jay, I'm from a school where we might get 5 in a game. What are you talking about? we got 8 a series. 8 a season.
Hey, them slant and dump routes is looking good. Yeah.
It's not strong.
Look at that
It's not
completion.
strong.
I'm reading my keys.
You guys say that. You guys have been whining about handing the ball. The Browns have rushing touchdowns. The Bills don't. So I don't know what you're talking about.
They're not going to need them.
See? 8
No.
measly touchdowns.
In 9 games.
Hey, we burning it up.
Those are Charlie Fry
We
numbers.
complete 64% of our passes.
Hey, shoot.
Yep.
I'm accurate as hell.
All right, you guys ready for the next one?
Yeah, we're more than ready.
Question number 4. This was a 4-2 finale. And I felt bad asking this, but we had to. The numbers back up the validity of this question.
I know.
Will Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome combine for more than 1 pass breakup versus the Bills?
I say
G
yes.
and Polk said no. Everyone else said yes.
I
Polk,
mean-
you want to start?
If they don't,
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I just haven't seen it. We're this many games in. I haven't seen it yet. So, I mean, until I see it, I have a hard time predicting it's going to happen against one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league, that's the week it's going to happen. And until then, I hope I'm wrong, but tell me why I should.
I got a yes. I mean, he gonna sling it 45 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, break up 1.
I put, yeah,
Two,
because
right?
this was equivalent to a hitter that strikes out a lot, will he at least get one foul tip?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
These were two
Pass
guys.
breakups is such a stupid stat.
It is, but it is what it is, Bull. I mean, it's a stupid stat, but
that they're not excelling at.
You can't say it's stupid just because we don't get it.
No,
So if you don't get
I just
picks,
mean it's stupid in terms of like this game. I don't know why Mike uses that as one of the things. I think
it's to illustrate the point of how embarrassing it is that our two supposedly stud quarterbacks can't combine for something that seems like a very pedestrian statistic.
Last week I asked Bull, will anyone not named Myles Garrett get a sack?
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a very valid question.
Yeah.
Like these guys, like Newsome. See, the thing is, when you watch the film, like Polk says, it's almost like this. Have you seen her? Yeah, no, we have not seen her. You have been nowhere near the ball. Like Newsome, the only guy that's been close is Emerson. That's it. Like we got one pick from Denzel Ward, but I mean, it seemed it would be easy for you guys to just knock the ball down once, get a tip.
How many breakups did they have last week, Mike? Did those guys have any last week?
One.
I will tell you right now, and as I'm pulling up the stat, we're going to bring DeQuell in for the last two questions here. What's up, DeQuell?
Yeah.
Long time no see, man. How you been?
Hey, what's up?
DQ.
Good. What's up, fellas?
Boy.
Hey, DeQuell.
Hey.
I'm wearing all my Maryland stuff for Brad.
I had mine on last week, bro. I was with you.
Wait, DeQuell, we got to talk about something here.
Hey, you know what's happening up in the little stadium tomorrow?
Do you know?
No, don't worry about it.
You know what's happening.
Cheyenne's got tickets for you for the women's games when you want to go to the Maryland game. Don't worry about that.
I'm not going to see that blowout. I'm not going to see that blowout in person.
Don't worry about it,
I'm not going to see that blowout in person.
It ain't nothing personal.
Y'all happy because y'all beat Maryland?
Terps.
Really?
Yep. I respect
DeQuell, you're having
bravery and the
surgery for a torn
representation.
Achilles?
Yeah, I am. Unfortunately, I am. On Monday morning, I'm having surgery I tore my Achilles playing neighborhood basketball.
I heard.
With some guys, and Brad, it was so embarrassing.
How I partially tore my Achilles getting out of a bathtub, right?
Look, I got my. You can actually see it. Let me get those out.
Well, DeQuell, have you ever torn your Achilles before?
No, never. I've never had any issues. I mean, I've sprained my ankle when I played, things like that, but nothing this serious. And I knew right away when I did it.
You knew what
I was
happened.
jogging.
How did it happen?
So, this is probably about the 4th or 5th week. Every Tuesday around 8 o'clock, a bunch of guys from the neighborhood, we'll go over a guy's house. He has a gym, and we'll get after it. Some guys played at college, but some guys aren't so good. But either way,
man,
yeah, he's a developer. It's another story.
Okay. Listen, don't worry about them. Keep telling your story.
We're just impressed by your friends.
I'm with you. I understand what you're saying.
Okay, Brad, you're with me. Okay. We'll get back to that, G.
We'll get back to G later. We'll bring him up to speed later.
Yeah. So one of the guys, we're winning the game. We play the 7, all ones or what have you. And normally, I'm a very competitive guy. So when I show up, I'm not trying to lose. So I probably lost like twice in like 5 weeks, right?
Okay.
So anyway, one of the teammates, he makes a bucket. I'm jogging back to get ready to play defense. My guy has the ball in his hand. I get ready to play defense, and all of a sudden, I turn around. I feel this what feels like
a pop in your ankle. Pop.
Like
I didn't hear a pop, but I felt like someone kicked me in the ankle.
Yeah, like somebody kicked you. That's it.
Yeah, I turned to my teammate. I'm like, his name is Ryan. I'm like, Ryan, did you kick me? He was like, no. I was like, no, dude, it felt like someone just kicked me.
I want to be Ron right
And he was like, no, I didn't touch you. And I took one step, and immediately I knew right away I had torn it.
Probably hanging. Yep.
Did you tear yours, Brad? Brad, you've torn Achilles?
No, but I seen. I remember when Dominic Wilkins tore his. He was just running down the court and just
let me advise you, well.
What's that?
Let me advise you, as someone. Obviously, you're in much better shape than I am, but still, I tore my Achilles when I was about you. How old are you now?
39.
Okay, I was I think 41 when I tore my Achilles. And my advice would be, and it'll be easier for you than me because you're obviously an athlete. I'm not. Is get out of the boot as soon as you, because they're gonna do the surgery, right? Then they're gonna probably put you in a cast for a couple of weeks, and then you go in the boot for a while.
Yep.
I would say try to get out of the boot as soon as you can and start working on getting that
Like
because your
flexibility.
Achilles, your whole leg is going to shrink. When you get out of that boot, you're going to look at the difference between your calves, between your two legs. Maybe it won't be as dramatic for you because you're in good shape, but I'm thinking because you're not going to use that calf at all for months, and so you got to start building that calf up, and it's even for an athlete, it's a hard muscle to kind of rebuild. So you got to get after it like huge because I didn't do a good enough job, and 10 years later, my one calf is still significantly smaller than the other.
I'm not.
Dr. Bull has spoken.
So before we get back to the game, DeQuell, we'll end this on a good note. You want to tell everyone what you texted me after you told me what happened?
No, I can't remember. What did I text you? Was I talking crap?
Yeah, you're like, I told my kids I still beat your ass on one leg, though.
Oh, yeah, you guys can't play basketball now.
I wanted you to say it. I remember what I said.
I know you did. Hey, I actually found I got a story for well, I'll just tell it now. I got invited to play in the Hillcrest YMCA pickup. Brad Chris says he knows you from the Hillcrest YMCA.
Say it again. The pickup.
Chris from the Hillcrest Y.
Chris from the Hillcrest Y. Yeah.
Yeah.
You playing in that league now?
I got invited. I was the only white dude there yesterday.
That's all right. You'll be all right.
It was quite the run. All right, we got 2 questions left. DeQuell, we're going to start with you. We'll go around the panel after. I sent you the questions. This is question 5.
Okay, I didn't look at them.
Will Donovan Peoples-Jones have more receiving yards than Gabe Davis on Sunday? DeQuell, yes or no?
Yes or no? I'm gonna go with yes. I think Donovan Peoples-Jones, given the opportunity, I think he should be featured more. The guy is making some big time plays and big moments for this team. I think he should be getting the ball a lot more and should be a focal point. Yes, I do think so.
Well, I'm glad you said yes because literally everyone else on the panel said no.
No,
said no. Oh, man.
And we're saying no for the same reason. 8 TDs and 5 interceptions.
That has nothing to do with this.
9 games.
And DeQuell, you know what happens if Stefanski starts seeing that his numbers creeping up. Oh, hell no. We got to hold you back, dog. You can't be running around here with
the coat on, hit the bench.
Hey, you on the pitch.
Excelling.
You on the pitch count, too. You only get 4 touches a game. Target, dog.
Any more might
Hey, Mike, I'm changing
cheddar.
my answer because of the weather.
You're changing your answer because of the weather?
I'm because I thought the Bills would still throw the ball in the snow and the Browns wouldn't as much. But in the dome, I say Donovan Peoples-Jones and Gabriel Davis have basically the same amount of receiving yards on the season. I think that Gabriel Davis maybe has 20 more yards in the year. So I'm going to go with DPJ. I think he's going to have a good game this week. I'm going with him over Gabriel Davis, so I'm switching, now that it's
all right, there we go. Hey, can we talk about this snow game for a second? Man. I mean, I get it. 2 to 4 feet of snow, you're putting a lot of people in harm's way. But, man, I was looking forward to watching a game, that snow game between those two teams. Because in 2007? Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
In 2007.
It would have been cool.
We ain't talking about 2 to 4, bro. 4 to 6, bro.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's a difference.
Wow. Yeah, so, I mean, you can't put people in harm's way. But I would have loved to see both of these teams, the way the Browns play offense, the way they run the ball.
Yeah, it would have been fun.
That, to me, would have been a huge advantage for the Browns. But
now,
unfortunately,
they could have forsaken the tickets and not made any money in Buffalo and just cleared the field. Yeah, they could have done that.
The NFL is going to make money.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, they're not in this for charity.
Yeah, they're like, no.
They thought about that for an eighth of a
You're
second.
cutting it to the bottom line here, bro.
No. We'll play this game on the moon before we play it.
They said, we have an open stadium in Detroit.
Go ahead.
I just remember 2007, we played Buffalo in Cleveland, and it was probably one of the best experiences playing football with all the snow. I mean, I think we won like 9-3, 9-0, something like 9-6. I mean, it was one of those games it was okay to miss a tackle. Guys were sliding around, laughing, kikiing on both sides of the ball. It was a really dope experience, but fortunately, we'll have to see this explosion of the Bills' offense in the dome in Detroit.
I hate to bring this up, but one of the most memorable snow games I remember when OJ ran for 2,000. That was in the snow.
He went over 2,000 for the season.
That was in the snow.
By the way, I had to go back and do the research. Hey, man, OJ was good, bro.
Was
good?
You were
good. He was.
I had to go back. The propaganda. When they cancel you, they strike you from the records. It's hard to find film on a brother. You be like,
How do you think he get cast in the Naked Gun?
bro?
If he was lousy.
That's
Gee,
why
you say they canceled him as if he said something inappropriate. The guy murdered his wife.
You can't kill anybody.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's the first. I mean, he was the first cancel. I didn't.
Yep.
You got to think. That's why I always have a problem with people when they be so passionate about dudes that played before you.
That's why I hate.
know nothing about that.
That's why I
rephrase it and say he canceled himself.
Yeah.
That's why I hate
two people.
That's why I hate to bring up
at least two people.
OJ's name.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But for the over 2000,
if he did,
that was in the snow.
Yeah.
DeQuell, I have a question about that 2007 game, though. I saw pictures of Joe Thomas. He didn't wear sleeves. Did you wear sleeves in the game? And what's your take on offensive linemen who refuse to wear any type of sleeves or protective warmth when it gets down to those frigid temperatures?
So I think because it was my second year, I think I did wear sleeves because I had to get used to the Cleveland weather, Cleveland winters. But after that, I probably didn't because it didn't matter. Honestly, it didn't matter whether you wore sleeves or not.
No. Go back to what you was about to say. What'd you do? You oiled up. What'd you say?
Oh, yeah. I had put all the Vaseline on, put layers of Vaseline all over my chest, my arms, everywhere, man. And it still didn't help.
We need a graphic talk about only black people know. Only black people. Now, when you was growing up and you had to walk to school and do what? It was either your grandmother or your mother. They got this big thing of Vaseline.
Keep coming.
And they, before you walk out the door, they say, boy, get over here. Mom, come on. They put that Vaseline all over your face.
Layers.
Give me your other hand. I'm like, Mom.
Freezed up.
I got a snowsuit on top. And then they put that snowsuit, you start, and then if you got a little cough, they put Vicks Vapor Rub over that. And so you smelling like a York peppermint patty mixed with Bengay. And you get to school and all your white friends look at you. What happened, here? Are you okay?
And the old school cure for everything. Give me some castor oil.
Get that castor oil.
There's some castor oil.
That don't mix with nothing. You can put that. I'm good.
Don't give it to me.
All we need, no Robitussin for us. You got an earache, they be like, let me warm up some sweet oil and pour it in your ear. I'm like, my ear was infected. I needed some penicillin, maybe antibiotic, not no beeswax.
It's only witchcraft.
Yeah, Vaseline did the trick, man. Vaseline did the trick.
That's when I heard him say he oiled up. I'm like, here it comes.
But you never had chapped lips, and your skin was very silky smooth.
Didn't wrinkle up when you get older. Nice and smooth.
I heard Booker McFarland was on a podcast I listened to, and he said the Vaseline thing. I didn't believe him. That makes no sense.
Oh, yeah.
That's for real.
Layers of Vaseline.
That's for real.
Layers of Vaseline. And you reapply it at halftime.
Old school
folklore. It's effective against COVID, too.
Yeah, folkley. That's the castor oil.
Maybe
castor oil take care of anything.
Yeah.
Oil up, G.
Man, there's a thing called liniment. J.D. Watkins.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a muscle. I don't know.
Get all that.
Hey, if you know in the chat, if you know what J.D. Watkins is, boy, you know how your neck gets sore after you play 2 days and because you're hitting and you get.
On that.
My grandmother snuck in the middle of the night. Let me just put some of this liniment
on you.
It get in your muscles. That's 3 days. It burns for 3 days.
Wow. Does it work though?
No.
It just burns your muscles.
It just smells.
It turned out that I had herniated discs. That liniment had nothing for that.
That didn't work.
One last fence question we got to get to. Very last one. DeQuell, you can start on this. We had a 3-3 split on the panel, so you will be the determining vote in this question. Will Myles Garrett have more sacks than Josh Allen has rushing touchdowns on Sunday? Yes or no?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
We have more sacks than Josh. No, I don't think so. I got to go. No, I don't think so. He hasn't been the Myles Garrett of late because we haven't had a really big lead, and so we haven't been able to use our two dogs on the outside. No, I don't think so. I think Josh Allen's going to bounce back from all the turnovers the last 2 weeks. He's got something to prove. I think they're going to come out and probably take some pressure off of Josh Allen and this offense. Try to, even though they want to pass the ball like crazy, they're probably going to, implement more of the running game, take a little bit of pressure off of Josh Allen and get him back to rolling. I think this will be the game. They're looking at the Browns as if this is a get back on track game in terms of building their confidence. But I don't think Myles Garrett's going to have more sacks than Josh Allen has rushing yards for sure.
Let me ask you a question, DeQuill. You've already answered the fence question. You got two dogs on the outside that can get out there and get after, right?
Yeah.
So what am I missing? Because if I got these two cats that can get out here on you, right, and I don't empower them with the rest of the crew so they can get up there and do their thing and wreak havoc here, who is that?
The defense is the defense. I mean, Joe Woods. The defense is stagnant. You know, they haven't done anything. You know, you can expect when you turn the tape on or when you watch the game on Sunday, you know where Myles Garrett is going to line up. You know where Jadeveon Clowney is going to be. Those guys are never together. They're always apart. They're always on the outside. I mean, honestly, I don't think Joe Woods is going to be around next season. And speak quite frank, the interior of this defense, man, I went back and watched out of all the D tackles we have listed that play for us, we have a total of 6 guys. We have a total of 5.5 sacks. And I know sacks isn't the end all be all, but they get thrown around. They don't. When was the last time we saw an interior defensive lineman make a play behind the line of scrimmage?
True.
I haven't seen it all season. I haven't seen it from any of the guys. So, I mean, that's going to have an effect on the effectiveness of Myles Garrett or Jadeveon Clowney. But at the end, Joe Woods has – you know what? We can't change the stripes on the zebra. He is who he is at this point. He's not going to change. We're in the middle of the season. He is who he is. He's not going to change things, even though everyone is – the game is very simple. You know, if an offense is trying to scheme this defense, you know exactly what Myles Garrett is going to be. I rarely see him standing up, rushing over a guard, rushing over a center. I never see him in those positions, hardly ever. So, you know what? It is what it is. Listen, these guys, these coaches, they feel like they know everything, and clearly he hasn't been able to get the most potential out of this unit all season long. And the only guy, in my opinion, that's really been outside of Myles Garrett when he has had moments has been Martin Emerson. Martin Emerson, in my opinion, has been the MVP of this defense.
Wow.
Not even close. There isn't anyone in a close second. So, you know, him and Myles Garrett, I would put those two at the top. But everyone else has been playing inconsistent football all season long. And this defense just doesn't have an answer. The way they got bullied last week against the Miami Dolphins, that was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. And you know what? For a defense, if you don't come to play, despite of what the offense is doing, you don't come to play, you're going to have a long freaking game. And that's just what –
Did you hear